Hey guys, welcome to another details video with me. I debated putting on a nice shirt and some makeup, but I decided to be myself and be lazy because that's just how I am. So anyway, today we're going to talk about some of the top 3 additions that you can bring to your wedding invitation to elevate them just a little bit. And as you can see, my dog is behind me and he is whining, so I'm very sorry if you can hear that. He's so needy. I don't understand why. But anyway, so we're going to talk about the top 3 things that you can bring to wedding invitations. And these are not like only the top 3 things. We're going to be diving into 3 things in different videos. So these are just some of the top add-ons that you can bring to your invitations. And so additions bring this more, make your invitations more special. Just by adding 1 or 2 little things to it, it makes it more unique for you and your groom or your bride or whoever. So let's get into it. The first item I'm going to talk to you about is ribbon. So I have 2 examples for you where we used ribbon on an invitation. So then also I'm going to go into all of the possibilities that I have. So I use a hand-dyed silk ribbon, and we can, use other ones. That's just my main go-to. Some people like to use velvet ribbon, which is totally doable, or you can use even like a cotton ribbon. I try not to use satin. That just seems a little outdated for me, but we can definitely do that if that's something that you're going for. Not that you want your invitation to be outdated, but if you really like satin for some reason, we can definitely go with that. But anyway, I stick towards hand-dyed silk ribbon. And when you think of silk, you probably think of like something very silky. It's not. It is definitely a matte ribbon. And it's not shiny at all, but they are hand dyed. So each roll is dyed specifically for you based off of the colors that they already have in stock, like what they've already dyed. I have a whole palette that you can choose from. So first, let's show you guys how you can use ribbon in your invitation. So the first one is a incomplete invitation. I have not printed it yet, so this is a sneak peek. So for this guy, we everything's a little crooked, so I'm sorry. We decided to go with this like very light mauve-y kind of color. It's not even that much of a mauve in there. But as you can see, there's a vellum underneath here. There is a reply card and envelope, a details card, and then the invitation back here. So the ribbon is holding on this greenery right here, and I just think that is so beautiful. We are actually going to do the ribbon twice around and then have the ribbon hang off a little bit. So it's going to be very pretty, but this is one way to do it. I like having a ribbon because it really holds everything together. It's a good alternative to a belly band if you don't want to do like a paper belly band. Honestly, I kind of tend to stay away from those. I love the simplicity and the organic feel that a ribbon has. The next example is going to be this guy. So this is a completed package. So we did a custom monogram. There's my dog back there. We did a custom monogram. We letterpress that on her invitation. They can see right there. This is on my website. This has been on my Instagram, so you guys have definitely seen this guy. But we did the monogram on a wax seal. And the wax seal is holding the ribbon down. So this one where it's tied, and this one where it's not. So we wrapped it around twice, and you kind of lay the ribbon down a little bit and use the wax seal to hold it on. And we're going to get into wax seals in another video because that is another top 3 item. So this wax seal, but I'll go ahead and tell you right now, this wax seal is actually a peel and stick, and I just kind of peeled it off by accident a little bit. But yeah, it's a peel and stick. So this guy is very strong. It's not going to come off, so you're going to slide off your ribbon. Whenever your guest receives your invitation, they'll just slide everything off. But yeah, so those are 2 examples of how you can use hand-dyed silk ribbon. Let's see. So these are the ribbons all the colors. There are more, but I'm not going to show you all of them because some of them are a little crazy. Well, I'll show you a little bit. So these are the crazy ones. Some of them aren't terrible, but some of them are kind of insane. So I usually don't show my brides those. But I do show them these guys. So there are some really pretty ones. Like I said, this ribbon is not shiny in any way. I mean, it has maybe like a slight sheen, but these are very thin. I mean, you can probably see a little bit of my hand behind that. They're thin, they're sheer, they're beautiful, and then they're hand stitched together. I'm not even showing you. They're hand stitched together, so you can kind of see right. I'm trying to show you right there. Let me turn around. Can you see right there where it's hand stitched together? So you have to be careful. Sometimes it breaks off a little bit, but that is just because they're all hand dyed, handmade, super pretty. So again, you can get them in different widths. Like the invitations that I just showed you were very thin, and then these guys are definitely not super thin. So you have those blues, you have some bright pretty pinks as well as some little blush ones at the end. More blush, kind of baby pink ones. And then you do have like this cotton candy one right there. It's so pretty. I don't think I would ever use that on invitation, maybe a baby announcement or something. And then these are really pretty as well, very soft. A lot of my brides come into this range. But the ones that I was showing you were actually, it was this guy, and then the one for the invitation that has the greenery tied to it is actually this guy. So it's very light. I hope it focused. It's very light. It's hard to kind of see on camera, but it's a very light pink. It's beautiful. So, and then lastly, we have these really bright blues and kind of like a plum purple. And then we also have our beautiful Pop-Tart ribbon. So there are some random ones in there that we probably will never use, but you know, it's a very good variety. There's something for everyone. And we can match to your invitations pretty well. We can kind of mix and match with colors, and this is one way to really get a lot of color or a pop of color into your invitation, especially if you have just a black letterpress print or just a gold letterpress print. If you don't want a colored ink for your letterpress, ribbon is one way to go to get some color in there. All right, so that was a ribbon, and again, you can always go for like a velvet ribbon, a cotton ribbon, a satin ribbon, a different kind of silk ribbon. There are literally so many different companies out there, some really great ones that are hand dyeing their own ribbons. I just go with this company because their shipping is awesome. Their customer service is great, and I love their variety of color. So next, we're going to talk about edge painting. So edge painting is something that I personally love to do. I love seeing that little pop of color on the edge of a card, which I am all about a pop of color. If I can add color into something, I definitely will. Even if it's a more muted color, I'm still down with it. So edge painting to me is a nice way to kind of seal off your invitation or your save the date or your thank you card or whatever you have. It's very nice to just kind of frame it. So I'm going to show you different paper weights that have edge painting. Sometimes people will tell you can only edge paint on 220-pound paper, which is what I print invitations on. I mean, or like any other thick paper. Well, I actually, and I know a lot of other people do too, I can edge paint on 110-pound paper. So that would be your reply card thickness or like your details card thickness. So, for example, this is a graduation announcement that I did, and it has a red kind of garnet edge paint. And so you can definitely see that, but it's not as noticeable as whenever I show you an edge paint on a 220-pound piece of paper. But when you put all of them together, it looks so good. it just adds a nice bright pop of color. So for a 220-pound piece of paper, the edge paint is going to look like this. And this is going to be a little bit harder to see just because of the color. This is gold. And it's not probably going to pick up, like it's not going to focus. But this is a gold edge paint. So these together, you can definitely see the gold. And this is one way we can add in a nice metallic color. So you can see it right there. But this is how we can add a metallic pop to your invitations or save the date. This is actually a save the date. There we go. It's actually a save the date. It's blind and then gold letterpress. And we did the gold edge paint to bring in a little pop of that metallic. So another example of an edge paint on 220-pound, and this might be kind of hard to see, but is my, the next example is my Christmas card from this year. So I loved creating, oh man, it's kind of blown out, but I loved creating this Christmas card. Wish I could show you somehow. You can kind of see it. It's, oh, there we go. Okay, so it goes from green to purple, and this is a very light purple, and this is more like a minty green, but yeah, green to purple, and it has a nice sheen to it. You can definitely see it when I tilt it like that, especially down there at the purple. So this is my Christmas card from this year, and then you have the top green, bottom purple, and then ombre on the sides. So another cool thing about edge painting is that you can do an ombre. So, I mean, I did an ombre on my actual Christmas card, but then I brought it into the sides as well. So edge painting is really fun. I love doing it. It's a lot of fun for me, especially because, again, you can add in a nice pop of color and you can give your invitations a little bit more personality. Okay, so next we're going to talk about printed addressing. And I don't have an example for you, but I can kind of talk you through it. So this is probably the top addition that I have added on to almost every single wedding package that I've done, if they don't do calligraphy. So the difference between calligraphy and print addressing is that print addressing, we compile all of your addressing, all like your guest addresses, their names, everything into an Excel spreadsheet. You get a proof of your addressing, just like you would get a proof from me for your invitation design. So you'll get a proof. We send it off to my local printer, and then they digitally print from your Excel spreadsheet. They digitally print all of your addresses onto your envelopes. And the cool thing about that is that the price is lower than calligraphy, and your envelopes will match your invitations if you used a script font for your invitations and not calligraphy. So I prefer either one. Any day I would say definitely do calligraphy if you have the money to spend on it. But if you don't, a really good alternative is printed addressing. It keeps everything cohesive, and it is one of the top, if not the top addition that my brides add on to their packages. So yeah, if you have any more questions or you want to see an example of printed addressing, please send me an email. I don't want to show the examples that I have because they are real addresses, so it wouldn't be cool to show off someone's real address. But then maybe in a different video, we'll talk about calligraphy. And I love calligraphy and print addressing just the same, so don't get me wrong, they're both amazing. Just for they're for specific people and for specific needs. So yeah, I love them both. But I will talk about calligraphy in another video. So for today, those are the top 3 things that get added to wedding invitation packages. And if you have questions about any of them, please feel free to shoot me an email and I will answer any questions you have. Hope you'll have a really great day, and thank you once again for watching. Bye guys.